Here it is, celebrating 3 special birthdays. Rosemary's roommate, Dorothy Bingaman, recently turned 104. And this Mother's Day, Emma Quimbley will be 105 years old.
Oh, wow.
With over 300 years of life experience combined, these ladies have seen it all, and they are grateful to be together to celebrate their birthdays together.
I would love to talk to them. I want to know all their secrets.
Hope to see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.
And right now at 5, Madison School Superintendent Jennifer Cheatham says she is stepping down. How school board members are reacting.
We're just hours away from Game 5 of the Eastern Conference semifinals between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Celtics. What familiar face could be back in action for Milwaukee?
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5.
Thanks for staying with us for News 3 Now at 5. More scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for this evening.
Let's get a look at the weather now with Gary Canalti on the weather patio. Gary?
Well, right now the winds are howling out here. It's not raining, but there are some showers not far away, and we'll see some showers and thunderstorms this evening and then another round tomorrow morning before the bulk of the precipitation moves by. So we have an alert day in the forecast that for tonight for showers and a few thunderstorms. Some of those could produce locally heavy rainfall as temperatures actually rise as a warm front comes through. You can see a visible cloud track, the thick clouds over Wisconsin, but to the south there have been some breaks in the clouds across parts of Iowa and Illinois, and that's allowed some thunderstorms to develop. Now on Doppler track, not seeing much in the way of lightning as these showers move into Wisconsin. The air a little bit cooler here, but a closer look shows that the one batch of showers has moved north of Madison. The next batch is ready to move in from the south and west. We probably could see a couple of thunderstorms develop there. Rainfall amounts so far have been around 1/4 of an inch or less from Madison toward the south. To the west of Madison, west of Richland Center, about 1/2 inch to a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of rain, and then 1/2 inch or more on the other side of the Mississippi River. Low temperatures this morning started out around 40, but our temperatures have been in the mid-40s and then have started to rise. And here in Madison, we're actually at our high temperature for today of 50, and we may see those temperatures continue to rise overnight. So by tomorrow morning, temperatures could be in the upper 50s. We'll see some off and on showers overnight, a few thunderstorms tomorrow during the morning, and then as a cold front comes through, temperatures will start dropping, and so we'll be in the lower 50s by late tomorrow afternoon. Good news is, though, some drier and milder weather is on the way for next week. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
All right, Gary, thank you. And with more rain in the forecast, the National Weather Service is issuing a warning for southwestern Wisconsin, warning of potential mudslides.
It's an issue of more rain on top of already soaked ground. Adam Duxter joins us in Darlington with the issues that they're seeing there. Adam?
Well, Eric and Susan, last time we were in Darlington, the area where I'm standing right now was completely underwater due to flooding along the Pecatonica River. But even though the water levels along the river have gone down, you're starting to get a first look at the damage that it left behind, namely some of this erosion in these banks washing away. I mean, just take a look at this sinkhole that's formed here along the Pecatonica River trail right next to the river, and leaders here are worried that a little bit more rain could do even more damage. Now, earlier today, the National Weather Service put out a warning for all the communities in southwest Wisconsin, saying that any more rain could lead to some potential mudslides or rock slides. I spoke with the Lafayette County Emergency Manager, who said part of this is just because of the way that these areas are laid out.
It's our beautiful rolling hills. It's the rolling hills and the runoff issues that we have. A lot of it is the small communities, our river communities, and they were built that way, and that's where the jobs were at the time, and they continue to flood year after year.
But again, this ground is already soaked with rain, and leaders here are worried that with any more rain coming through, that it won't soak even more into the ground. Rather, it'll just start to wash things away into the river. With more rain in the forecast, it's something they'll be monitoring. But again, they're hoping for some days of sunshine and dry weather for the weeks to come.
As we all are. Adam Duxter live in Darlington. Adam, thanks.
A trial is underway for a Madison man charged at a fatal gas station shooting in 2017. Demetrius Reeves Reeves is charged with first-degree intentional homicide and attempted first-degree homicide after a shooting at a 7-Eleven in August 2017. So this surveillance video shows Curtis Langlois and Reeves at a tavern near where the shooting took place. Video from businesses showed two masked men wearing similar clothing to Reeves and Langlois, carrying what appeared to be guns. The video then shows them getting out of the car and firing at Kendrith Young. The medical examiner said Young was shot 8 times. 3 of those shots could have been fatal. Rodney Lemon was shot. He did survive, suffered 2 gunshot wounds.
My first instinct was to run and try to grab my cousin out of the doorway. So that's when I got shot in my leg and in my stomach. And then when I was trying to retrieve back from the doorway, Langlois came, and that's when he shot me in my back and my leg, the back of my legs and my arm.
Langlois pleaded guilty to his charges back in 2017, and he was sentenced to life in prison. Madison School Superintendent Jennifer Cheatham is leaving the district this August.
She made the official announcement at a news conference today. Our Keely Arthur was there and shares how school district officials are reacting to this news. Keely?
Well, very surprised. That's how one school board member described her reaction to the news that Cheatham is stepping down. After 6 years in the role, she's headed to Harvard. Cheatham was emotional as she announced her resignation at a news conference at Mendota Elementary today. She was surrounded by senior staff as well as other community leaders from places like the United Way of Dane County and Madison College. The leadership was already looking pretty different ahead of this announcement. There are 3 new school board members on the 6-member board. One of them tells us while they are sad to see Cheatham go, it's better that she do it now rather than later on so the new board can start fresh with a new leader.
There's particulars around the timing that I think that I agree that it was important to be a good time during the summer and when the board is new.
Other leaders reacting to Cheatham's announcement as well. We have their statements up on our website, channel3000.com. Of course, the big question now is who will take over. The district will name an interim at the end of this month. The Capital Times is reporting that Nancy Hanks, currently the district's chief of elementary schools, will fill that role. But I asked many people today and no one would confirm that.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We'll continue
We'll
to
see.
All right, Keely, thank you. The Bucks try to close out their series with the Celtics tonight at Fiserv Forum.
And they may get a few minutes from one of their best players who's been out for a while. Melissa Kim joins us now live from Fiserv Forum with the good news. Melissa?
Hi guys, yeah, I am the bearer of good news today. Malcolm Brogdon is expected to play tonight. Those were the exact words from head coach Mike Budenholzer after shoot-around this morning. Now Brogdon, he's been out for more than 2 months now after he tore a connective tissue in his right foot. And he was doing pretty well, making some progress up until this point. And as of last night, he was still listed as out on the NBA injury report. But you know, head coach Mike Budenholzer keeping everyone on their toes, making some strategic game time decisions today. But the big question is, does he really need to play tonight? I mean, I guess that depends on who you ask. The Bucks have been doing pretty well without him so far, thanks to Giannis and some excellent production off of the bench from George Hill and Pat Connaughton. But Brogdon hasn't played since March 15th, so he probably needs to get back into that game mode, not just physically, but mentally too, especially recovering from an injury. So Coach Bud says playing time can only help him.
Malcolm's such a good player, and he's been such a big part of what we've done. So, you know, it's always just great to add. The more good players you have, the more guys that can, you know, help you defensively, help you offensively. He does so many different things. You know, the more you have, you know, kind of at your fingertips or in your toolbox, the better.
And you're looking live now at Giannis warming up, taking some long balls here. Now I'm going to make an educated guess and say that he and the Bucks want to wrap it up tonight. But the Celtics, you know, they're down at 3-1 right now. And if they play that fun, loose style of basketball, they could have a chance, I guess. But the Bucks have been pretty dominant in these last 3 games. And I'm sure that the Bucks in 5 chance will be very strong here tonight at Fiserv Forum. Back to you.
Certainly would be nice to wrap that one up. Melissa Kim live at Fiserv Forum tonight. Melissa, thank you very much.
Thank you, Melissa. For the first time ever, a Badger is named the Big Ten Softball Player of the Year. Kayla Conwent missed nearly all of the 2017 and 2018 seasons with injuries, but this year led the Big Ten in batting average, slugging percentage, on-base percentage, and total bases. Wisconsin's Taylor Johnson was also named first-team All-Big Ten, and pitcher Caitlin Menz was a second-team All-Big Ten selection. The Badgers are scheduled to face Iowa in the first round of the Big Ten softball tournament tomorrow.
Former Packers general manager Ted Thompson says he has been diagnosed with a nervous system disorder. According to the Packers website, Thompson says it's an autonomic disorder. Thompson played 10 years in the NFL with the Houston Oilers, but says his doctors have told him this disorder is not related to CTE in any way, which has impacted the health of several former NFL players. Thompson says it's one of the reasons he stepped down after the 2017 season as Packers general manager. The 66-year-old was inducted into the Packers Hall of Fame this past Saturday.
The financial health of Madison's public golf courses has been up and down through the years.
In 2018, the courses lost over $860,000. Now officials are saying that everything is on the table as they look to make some changes. Chris Leuenberg reports.
With the Golf Enterprise Fund in the red for the first time in history, Madison officials are trying to figure out how to turn this mulligan into a hole-in-one.
It takes more than just rain to keep Don Davidson off the driving range.
During the winter, I'm out here 2 or 3 times a week hitting balls when it's 10 degrees outside.
And what keeps bringing him back to Madison's 4 public courses?
So you learn about sportsmanship, you learn about teamwork, you learn about keeping score.
Is something that he's not ready to lose.
You're going to be able to deal with conflicts in your life a lot better because you get them on the golf course on a daily basis. And how you deal with those is important on how you deal with life.
Madison Park Superintendent Eric Knepp says that the value of golf is clear. What's less clear is what to make out of the Golf Enterprise's bleak financial situation.
Well, we're now in what I would call a crisis level financial situation. I think it's now not rational to say that there's a chance for recovery in the current model.
The fund's liabilities rose over its assets for the first time in 2018, erasing any doubts that there's a need for change.
There are definitely other options to explore to balance the recreational needs across the system if we're in the world that we're in, where there is no way to not subsidize golf and sustain those 72 holes.
In response, Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway created a task force that will look at options like closing courses, reducing holes, or subsidizing the courses with taxpayer funds. Davidson understands the need for action as long as there's somewhere that he can tee up.
If that means closing a course or 2 courses, I'm for that. But you need to keep the courses for the seniors and the kids at an appropriate level.
The city's golf subcommittee is expected to talk about 2018 finances this Thursday. I'm Chris Leuenberg, News 3 Now.
Madison Park says that the total number of holes of golf open in Dane County, public or private, has actually doubled since 1990.
In an effort to reimagine hidden and secondary doors on State Street and downtown, the City of Madison and its Central Business Improvement District have launched a new public art project called Downtown Doors. The project showcases 25 local artists at more than 25 locations across downtown Madison in an effort to spotlight the city's art community.
It's really important that we show some love to our local artists and that we showcase their work and that folks know the incredible creativity that is available right here in our community.
Similar to last year's Bucky on Parade, the Downtown Doors will have both digital and print guides to help the community find all of the locations throughout the city, and all of the doors will remain up for about 2 years.
Madison Night Market returns to downtown tomorrow night. Gilman Street will be shut down tomorrow night for the 3rd annual event. It features vendors, arts and crafts, pop-up restaurants, drinks, and live music. The market runs once a month through September. More to come on News 3 Now at 5. Up next, one of the suspects in yesterday's Colorado school shooting is in court. We will have the very latest.
The House Judiciary Committee has voted to hold Attorney General William Barr in contempt of Congress. How the White House is reacting.
And on Wall Street, pretty steady at the closing bell today. The Dow up just 2 1/4. The Nasdaq lost 20. S&P 500 down 5. We'll be right back. Colorado charter school shooting suspect Devin Erickson has made his first court appearance.
The 18-year-old was shackled at the waist with his hands cuffed as he sat in a courtroom flanked by 2 defense lawyers. He's scheduled to return to court on Friday when charges are expected to be filed. Erickson is one of the 2 suspects accused of opening fire at the STEM school Highlands Ranch in the South Denver suburbs yesterday. 1 student was killed and 8 were injured. The other suspect is a juvenile girl.
The Judiciary Committee voted to hold the Attorney General in contempt of Congress for not complying with a subpoena to turn over the full Mueller report. The Department of Justice insists it would be illegal for Barr to comply with the request and sent Democrats a letter ahead of the vote stating, quote, the president has exerted executive privilege over the entirety of the subpoenaed materials. The contempt resolution could now go to the full House for a vote and potentially set up a lengthy legal battle over the documents.
Whoever does not prevail at the district court level is going to appeal it, and then it ultimately could wind its way to the Supreme Court.
The White House calls Chairman Jerry Nadler's actions, quote, a desperate ploy, and says neither the White House nor Attorney General William Barr will comply with Nadler's, quote, unlawful and reckless demand.
The newest addition to the royal family now has a name. Prince Harry and Meghan have named their son Archie. Buckingham Palace says the baby's full name is Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor, and the couple is ecstatic about being parents.
Just so thrilled to have our own little bundle of joy and be able to spend some precious times with him as he slowly starts to grow up.
It's magic. It's pretty amazing, and I mean, I have the 2 best guys in the world, so I'm really happy.
Archie also met his great-grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, for the first time today. He is the Queen's 8th great-grandchild, and he is 7th in line to the British throne.
And from that birthday, we have to wish a happy 85th birthday to Elvina Patterson in Stoughton. Elvina, thank you for tuning into News 3.
Wish Gary could have better weather for you today for your birthday.
Gary dropped the ball on your birthday. It's pretty nasty out there, Gary.
Well, it's just been chilly. Actually, temperatures are as warm as they've been all day because we've seen them rise, and the rain has at least stopped temporarily, but that will change. You can see a visible cloud track. We've been socked underneath the clouds most of the day, but to the south, there has been some sunshine over parts of northern Illinois and eastern Iowa, and temperatures have been quite a bit warmer down to the south. In fact, you can see right now, it's almost 80 degrees in Peru, Illinois, which is the far southern suburbs of Chicago. Here in Madison, we're as warm as we've been all day at 50 degrees, and temperatures north of Madison still are in the 40s. So you can tell where there's been some sunshine, temperatures are in the 60s and 70s, and that's where the thunderstorm threat is a little higher. There's a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms right up to the Wisconsin-Illinois state line, but it looks like the threat for any strong to severe thunderstorms should stay in that warmer air to the south. And as we get into the evening and overnight hours, the atmosphere cools anyway, so the severe weather threat would be a little bit less. We've seen a couple of thunderstorms along this line of showers, which is just right now just going to be showers as it pushes through southern Wisconsin. We'll see a break overnight, and then we'll see more showers and storms out to the west along a cold front that'll reach us sometime tomorrow morning. Now, you can see here in southern Wisconsin, the next batch of rain out to the west of us, so that'll be in here through the evening. If you take a look at the precipitation over the last 48 hours, generally less than 1/4 of an inch from Madison to the south and east, an area of about a quarter to a half inch west of Richland Center, and then a half inch or more through much of Iowa and Minnesota, with some spots like up north and west of the Twin Cities and then down into parts of west central Illinois that have received over an inch of rain. Latest computer model forecasts show another half inch to an inch of rain through the day tomorrow. Most of this will be from later tonight into tomorrow morning. Most of the rain should be over with by tomorrow afternoon. And then after that, hopefully we'll see some improvement. There is an alert day in the forecast for tonight, though, for the showers and a few thunderstorms that could produce some heavy downpours as they move through. Live from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville, you can see it's raining pretty steadily there. The showers are into southwestern Wisconsin, whereas at least right now, just a couple of drops of rain falling at the WISC Skycam. The Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison, just showing cloudy skies, not seeing much rain in the downtown area. Almanac for today shows a low this morning of 40. Our temperature's been in the mid-40s all day. We're now up to our high for the day of 50, and right now the current conditions show a high of 50. Skies mostly cloudy. Winds, though, pretty brisk out of the east at 16 miles per hour. So while those temperatures are in the 40s north of Madison and 50s south of Madison, you can see our winds are out of the east. In the warmer air to the south, that's where the winds are generally out of the south, and we're seeing some strong wind gusts of 25 to 30 miles per hour. But as the low pressure system moves through, those winds will drop off quite a bit tonight. Upper level winds right now from the southwest, even though our winds near the ground are from the east, so that's what's piling up the air and causing these showers to develop. Back here, there's a second cold front that will actually come on through. That's stationary right now, but eventually it'll turn into a cold front as that low pressure system moves through, and that's what will bring the round of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. After that, notice the temperatures do drop off a little bit behind it, so we'll expect temperatures to actually fall off during the day tomorrow. Our forecast for tonight calls for mostly cloudy skies, showers, a few thunderstorms, temperatures steady rising from upper 40s and lower 50s through the upper 50s by tomorrow morning. And then for tomorrow, look for a high of 59 early, showers and thunderstorms mainly in the morning, and then we'll see falling temperatures through the 50s in the afternoon. On future track, again, shower and thunderstorm chances this evening. Temperatures climbing to near 60 tomorrow morning. That cold front comes through, winds shift around to the west. Temperatures start dropping off in the afternoon. Tomorrow night, look for low temperatures in the upper 30s, but skies start to clear out to the west, and that will at least give us some sunshine for Friday with high temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. Rainfall amounts, like I say, somewhere around a ½ inch to an inch, especially in areas that get a heavier thunderstorm. 7 to 10 day forecast, though, calls for temperatures at least closer to normal. There'll be some rain chances, but just slight chances for rain. Much of the time it'll be dry, and temperatures by the end of next week should be closer to 70 degrees. As we take a look at first alert traffic right now, pretty slow going on the eastbound Beltline. That's the view at Rimrock Road and the Beltline. Right now we're seeing some delays on the eastbound Beltline from around Monona Drive going back to near Todd Drive. Westbound, the delays start around Fish Hatchery Road and go back to Park Street. If you're traveling eastbound on the Beltline, it's 24 minutes from University Avenue to the interstate, 17 minutes going back in the westbound direction. Heading out of Madison, 28 minutes now to Janesville on I-3990, 17 minutes to Sauk City on US 12, and 19 minutes to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue, US 151. That's your News 3 Now First Alert traffic.
All right, thank you, Gary.
Ahead on News 3 Now at 5, why Uber and Lyft drivers across the country are putting on the brakes today. We'll explain after a short break. Welcome back. It may be a little harder to catch a ride today.
That's because Uber and Lyft drivers in big cities around the world are striking today for higher wages. Tom Hansen reports.
Driver power! Union power! Uber and Lyft drivers protested outside the company's New York City headquarters Wednesday afternoon, calling for higher wages and better benefits.
All drivers have seen from these companies are broken promises and poverty and debt.
Earlier, during the morning commute, some drivers turned off their apps and made their way in a caravan across the Brooklyn Bridge. Drivers also staged protests in other cities, including Boston and Philadelphia. The job action comes ahead of Uber's initial public stock offering, which is planned for Friday. The IPO could value the company at more than $90 billion. Lyft went public in March. Drivers here are upset that the companies are getting billions of dollars from investors while they're making less than they used to.
In 2014, I was making $37 an hour. I could pay for my gasoline, I could pay for my car, I could eat good. Today, I am making $9.80 an hour.
Uber says since 2015, drivers have earned nearly $80 billion, with an additional $1.2 billion since tips were introduced 2 years ago. And Lyft says its drivers' hourly earnings have increased over the last 2 years, and that on average, the company's drivers earn over $20 an hour. Stop it now! Protest organizers say to expect more job actions in the future, but it's unclear how effective Wednesday's protests were. In New York, cars were still available on both apps, and customers were still able to easily get a ride. Tom Hansen, CBS News, Queens, New York.
Stay with us. We'll have another check of your forecast in just a moment.
More rain on the way?
Yeah, another round out to the west of us. You can see on Doppler track some showers moving through southwestern Wisconsin. We'll see another round tomorrow morning, too. Temperatures, though, have been continuing to rise. We're at 50 in Madison. Notice it's in the 50s to the south, and we may actually get up close to 60 by tomorrow morning before temperatures start to fall off again. So look for a high of 59 early in the day tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms mainly in the morning, and then falling temperatures. But 58 for a high on Friday, not too bad. Closer to 60 on Saturday. Slight chance for a shower Saturday night into Sunday. And then next week, those temperatures between about 65 and 70 most of the week. Just a few chances for rain, not many.
All right, Gary, thanks a lot. We'll be back in 30 minutes with News 3 Now at 6. Stay tuned for the CBS Evening News.